Good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning.
You ready?
I am.
Okay, let's go. Get her done. So you're going to take your feet to the width of the mat, towards the back of the mat. And all we're going to do is isometrically pull our feet towards each other with your legs straight. Nothing's going to move. Just hold that activation. And while you hold it, take your hands to your waist, push your butt back so you start your hip hinge while you pull your feet together. Keep your hands on your waist or on your butt. Keep your chest nice and proud and just come down maybe a little less than halfway or maybe halfway. We're just trying to bring some blood flow to these muscles. Keep your legs straight and keep that pull, that force, if you will, with your feet isometrically moving towards each other. And you want to make sure that you've lined up your feet in the same line, right? Pull down one more time, just about halfway, and then come back up. Now you're going to bring your hands out in front. You're going to slide them down the legs. And you're going to take it all the way. So this time you're going to let your head go, let your spine go into flexion. So now you're just looking through your knees, and then you're just going to slide right back up. So nice and slow. Take it all the way down and let your head relax. And all the way back up. And just one more time. And this time we're going to hang out down there for a little bit. And then we're going to walk it out to a plank. So just stay here for a few breaths. Try to really unweight your upper body so you get a nice release through the lower back. Now take your hands and walk them forward. Meet me in a plank. You can move your feet about 4 to 6 inches apart. Hold your high plank. Now try to push to a straight leg while you're in this plank. So really drive the heels backwards. Now we're going to go right into a downward facing dog. You're just going to take your left foot up and down. So lift it off the floor, lift it up, and then put it back down. And keep repeating on that one side. Just keep lifting and lowering the leg. You're activating your glute. Saying, good morning, time to get to work. Pull that belly in. And please make sure you can see the sides of your arms. We're going to do 3 more on that leg. And if at any point you need to go to child's pose, just take your knees down and do it, right? It's not a race or a competition. Now switch to the other leg. So now you're lifting and lowering the right leg. You're keeping it nice and straight. It's all about the glute. So you want to make sure you're keeping those hips nice and stable. So you're not opening the hip to get the leg higher up. Okay, now come back to the plank. We're going to lower the knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Drift your hips backwards. Oh, how good does that feel? Keep your face off the floor. And then come forward with the hips. And drift back. You can either keep your toes tucked under or you can be on the tops of your feet. It doesn't really matter. You're just moving forward and back with the hips. And your range of motion is whatever feels good for you. We'll just do one more. Now bring the wrists under your shoulders and let's start cat-cows. Do about 10 of them at your pace. This is such a great way to wake up and get your body moving right for the rest of the day. So this is your pace, right? If you want to hang out in a spot because it feels like you should, do it. all I ask is that while you do these cat-cows, you're pulling the belly in. Okay, now I would like you to come back to a neutral spine, tuck the toes under, come into a small dog, drive your heels to the floor, and then elevate high on the toes. And just keep oscillating up and down. Do a few more. Nice. Now you're going to bring your left foot forward. So you're in a sort of a small lunge, right? You've got your left knee over your ankle. You're up high on the toes on the back foot. And just try to have your fingertips only on the floor. So you're bringing a lot of weight, body weight, into that left leg. So even the quad, the front part of the leg, should feel like it's doing some work right now. And just hold this. You're not rounding your back. You're just looking down at the floor with your face, but your neck is nice and long. Now we're going to oscillate between stepping the back foot in a little bit, getting the heel down, and go to both legs straight. And then bend the front leg, step the back leg back a little bit. And then just keep oscillating between the two. Straighten the front, straighten the back, bent in both places, and just keep repeating. Okay, now step that back foot further back than what you have had it, and just stay in this lunge. And now we're going to lift our hands off the floor. We're going to lift up with your shoulders over the hips and sweep the arms up. So you're getting a nice little stretch in the front of the hip flexor. Now we're going to take the arms out to the side with your palms facing down. You're going to bend into that front leg. Lower the globe. Fingertips only on the floor. As soon as you get there, push yourself back up, flip the palms, reach for the ceiling. And do it one more time. Fingertips to the floor and sweep it back up. Nice. Now bring your hands to heart. You're going to step your back foot in and just switch sides. So this left foot going back isn't going that far back, right? Bring your fingertips down. Meet me in that little runner's lunge. Then you're going to straighten the front leg and straighten your back leg. So this is what we know as pyramid stretch. So we're really alternating between a low lunge and pyramid. So you're stepping the foot out in the back and bending into that front leg and back to both legs straight. Just oscillate, do a few more. Okay, this next time, take that back foot pretty far back. Fingertips only on the floor. You're putting all that weight into that right leg. From here, hands off the floor, sweep it up. Flip the palms and reach the arms nice and long and strong. And right back down. Bend into the front knee. Fingertips down and back up. Just go nice and slow and in control. Whoops, don't do that. Come back down. And of course, if you feel off balance, you need to have more space between your front and back foot. Let's do one more here. Now take the hands down, step back, meet me in your plank. Now we're going to do a nice slow hover all the way down to the floor and just chill out once you get there. So if you have a towel, you might want to have it handy. Turn your head to the side, just relax everything for a sec. Now, come onto your forearms into what we know as baby cobra and just hold it here. Pull in the stomach while you're doing this. We're going to stay here just for a few breaths. It's good flexibility for your spine. Good stretch for your six-pack muscle. Okay, so bring the chest back down and bring your hands beside your chest. Now, push yourself back up and come all the way up till your arms are straight, and then come all the way back down again. Take a little rest, and then start again. Press your belly in, push up to a straight arm, your knees are down on the floor, and come back down. And we'll do that one more time. Lift up, and all the way back down. Turn your head to the side. Just relax, kind of let that whole pelvis area release, and your glutes. Okay, tuck the toes under, lift your face off the floor. Just look at the floor with your face, but close your eyes because there's nothing good to look at there. So you're trying to lift your chest up without putting any weight into your hands. So it's the muscles along your spine that are active. While you hollow out the belly, just hold this and breathe a few more breaths. Now back to turning your head to the side, relax. And resume. The head faces the floor. Now we're going to amp this up a little bit. Make sure you've got that belly button pressing up and into the spine. You're just going to take the left hand, move it out in front, and let it rest on the floor, but don't put any weight into it. And then move it back. And then do the same with the right. Take the right hand up off the floor, move it forward, let the palm just touch, and then bring it right back. And switch. So you're just getting the side body working here a little bit. The obliques, your transverse abdominis are definitely working. You're hollowing out your belly. And you're just going side to side. And you're trying to keep that chest up off the floor. Do one more on each side, and then we get a little child's pose. That's a lot of work for those muscles along your spine. Okay, push it back all the way to child's pose. You're going to stay here for 5 big, huge breaths. It's your version of child's pose that you like, that you should be in. Okay, didn't that feel good? Come on back up. So you're in your quadruped position, which means your wrists are under your shoulders, your spine is neutral. Take that right arm, reach it forward. Palm should be facing the midline of the body. Now you're going to take that left foot and slide it backwards along the floor, and then lift it off the floor, put it back down, and bring it back. Let's do the same on the opposite side. Left arm forward, right leg slides back, lift it up, and switch sides again. And let's just keep oscillating between the two. Make sure when you're lifting that leg in the back that you're getting it straight without collapsing through your midsection. It's very important to keep neutral, keep that belly engaged. One more on each side. Nice. Now push yourself up to a small dog. Just hold it here for a sec. Now walk your feet towards your hands so you're in a full forward fold. We're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. And then exhale, fold back down. Let's do that a few more times. Make sure you're drifting your weight into the heels. And you're trying your best to keep your legs straight. And put your spine, when you look up, get it nice and long. Just a few more. Okay, now from here, the up position, let's do a reverse swan dive all the way back up. Flip your palms and sweep for the ceiling. And back by your side. Nice. Take your left foot forward and your right leg back. Both heels are going to stay down on the floor, but I want you to isometrically pull them together. Okay, so you're pulling your front heel towards your back foot. So you've got a lot of activation in the front part of the leg. With that activation, while you hold it, walk your hands down your leg. So it's kind of like pyramid, but you're enhancing it with that isometric pull. This is a really good way to stretch out the body, the legs. Walk your hands back up, and you be the judge of how far you go. You might not go all the way down. You're keeping your spine long. So walk it down slowly with that pull and both legs straight, and then take it back up. And we're just going to do it one more time. Feel a lot of force in this left leg. Okay, step your back foot in, do the same thing on the opposite side. So how far do you step your back foot back? As long as your heel's down, you know you're in the right place. Push those two into each other. Start your walk down the leg. You might be a little shakier on one side, totally normal. Great PMF stretching going on here. Should feel like, oh my God, what's going on back there behind that leg? Okay, one more time. And back up. And step your back foot forward. So now you're towards the front of your mat. Take a nice big deep breath. And swan dive it down really slowly. Keep the arms nice and long. Let the head go, you're in spinal flexion. Hands to the floor, step back both feet. You're in your high plank. Do a hover right to your up dog. I'd like you to be on the tops of your feet with your belly in, and then come off your knees. Tuck the toes under, go right to a down dog. Lift the left leg up. Bend at the knee, open the hip and lift from the knee. High on the toes on the right foot. Same thing, opposite side. Right leg up, bend it, lift it. Belly in. Back to your plank. Do a nice little hover right to up dog. On the tops of your feet, come off your knees. Tuck your toes under, downward facing again. Left leg up. And switch to the right. Back to your plank. Step your left foot up between both hands. You're back to a runner's lunge. Now step your right foot further back. Bring your left hand inside that left leg. So we're going to go into lizard. Got both hands on the floor. And to start, take that right leg a little further back and then lower the knee to the floor if you can. And if you want to put a towel under your knee, you should always have one nearby. So right now, you're just getting a nice stretch through the groin area, your inner thigh a little bit of the left leg. We're just going to hang on here for a little bit. And then when and if you feel ready, let's drop to the forearms. And it's not about forcing anything. If it doesn't feel good today, It just ain't happening, and that's totally fine. Okay, come back up onto your hands. Now, you've got your left hand right inside that foot. I want you to activate your inner thigh by pushing your left knee into your arm. And just hold that activation. And then release it and re-engage it. And release it. Push it in for the last time. Tuck the toes under on the back foot if they're not already. Take that left hand to the outside, come off your back leg, sweep the arms all the way back up. Palms face each other. Hands to heart, step your back foot in, switch sides. Take the hands down to the instep of the front foot. Scoot that left leg as far back as you can, your left foot. Once you're there, knee comes down to the floor, maybe on a towel. So I like to do these type of deep stretches in different phases, just to kind of get the body releasing a little bit. So let's take 2 more breaths, and if you're ready to go down to the forearms, we will meet there. Stay here for about 3 more breaths. Try to really take in as much air as you can. Okay, take it back to the hands. Now let's get this inner thigh waking up. So push your right knee into your right arm. Feel that inner thigh start to work. And then release it and do it again. Make it great. And release it and do it again. Nice. Now come off your back knee, step the foot in a little bit, take that right hand to the outside of your foot, sweep the arms on either side and all the way back up. Hands to heart, step your back foot in. Nice. Big deep breath. And do a nice slow swan dive down, really slow with really long arms. Let the head go. You're just looking through your knees. I'd like you to fold your arms, completely unweight the upper body. Let your head go. Now, while you take these big breaths, try to really expand through your rib cage. Okay, bring your hands above your knees, come back up, nice and slow. You're going to turn to face the right side of your room and separate your feet pretty far apart, not as far as you could get them, because I want you to be able to control this activation. We're going to isometrically pull the feet towards each other. Just do that and stand in this position. So right now, you're feeling your butt, side of the legs, and your inner thighs, all hard, because you're isometrically pulling the feet together. Bring your hands to heart. We're going to add on to this. Now, while we add on to this, I want you to keep that isometric activation and begin to fold your upper body down very slowly. Hollow out the belly. So right now I'm starting to feel my legs do a little bit of shaking, and that's fine. I'm just going to take my torso parallel to the floor, and then I'm going to come back up nice and slow. Okay, that one was a one and done. Now I'm going to bend into my left leg while I keep that activation. Come back up slow. You're still isometrically pulling both feet together. Do the same on the opposite side. Try to push your booty back. Work a range of motion that you can still keep that tug. Okay, now come back up, release it. So just let your feet hang. Take your hands down to the mat with your spine in extension. So I'm looking up and I've taken my hands off the mat and I'm going to pull my hips back with straight legs. And I'm going to walk my hands forward. My ears are just tucked inside my arms. And I'm creating a little tug in order to release my lats. You can walk the hands further forward without letting the hips go with them. I would try that. Now, try to puff up the rib cage while you breathe here. Take as much air in each time. Okay, walk the hands back to the mat. Help yourself get up. So now your spine is long again, but your hips are still back. You're weighting the back of the feet. Release the arms out to the side like an airplane with your palms facing the floor. Now you've got a lot of work going into that upper back. Now let the hands relax, connect. So now your arms are long, facing the floor, and then you're going to sweep them back up. Try to lift them as high as you can with your belly in, your hips back, and then release them. And one more time. Sweep to the side. Come back up to standing. Whew, keep those arms long. Take your front foot and turn it forward. Take your hips and push them backwards. Take this left hand down to your front leg. Take the right arm up. So we're going into a triangle pose. So if you want to, here I'm going to face forward. So you see I'm pushing my hips to the side of the room, keeping my right arm long. I'm just going to bring my torso down a little bit, keeping my side body nice and long. I'm not going to round it. So it's not about how low you get your left hand to go down. It's just a little challenge here. Just hold it. Keep the arm working. Okay, now take the right arm and bring it to your left leg. So you're getting a little reprieve while you do this. Oh, feels good. So now your right hand's going to be on your shin. We're going to do a little spinal twist if you want to. You could just stay here if not. Left hand to your waist and try to rotate your chest. Doesn't have to be huge. Now come back, square out the chest, walk your hands up your leg. Let me get back on my mat. Feel a little twisted here. So you're back to your starting point with your arms reaching. Take the left palm, flip it to face the ceiling and sweep it up and let your right hand rest on your back leg. Now you don't have to have your feet so far apart. Just feel stable and enjoy this nice length you're getting. Like I'm feeling it right over the waistband of my left side body. Okay, come back with the arms long. Now we're just going to oscillate. I want you to flip the palms to face up and reach them up. And then let them come down. and reach up and down and up and down. Turn the palms to face the floor. You're going to bend your front leg, come onto the toes on the back foot, bring your arms forward, palms facing down. Now, palms face each other, make a fist and squeeze those elbows back. Get even higher on your back foot and give me a little forward lean. And come back up. And back down, slowly, in control. Working your tummy muscles the whole time. Keeping those elbows nice and high. We're going down one more time. Step your back foot in, left leg goes back, turn it on an angle. Get the arms nice and long, you're facing the other way. How good does that feel? Try to touch the front of your room and the back of your room with your fingers. Now your right arm touches the leg. Left arm goes straight up. Triangle pose. Move your hips to the back of the room. So you're getting a nice release in your inner thigh of the front leg. Now, if you want to work your core, you don't put a lot of weight into that right hand. You're just gently resting it there. All of the weight in your torso is making your torso stronger because you're fighting gravity here. Now, take this left hand to your shin. Try to keep the leg straight in the front. Bring your right hand to your waist. Turn your chest a little bit to the right. And bring that right hand back down. Come back up to your starting point with your arms nice and long. Flip the palms, reach them up. And back down. While you do this, your palms are facing up. Bringing mobility back into our shoulders. So many of us are rounded. Not good. So this should feel challenging. Do one more because it's good for us. Okay, now flip the palms. Bring the left arm forward. Come onto the toes, bend your front leg. Make a fist. Get your elbows back. Lean in. And back up. And slowly take it down. Your front leg is bent. Come back up and just do it one more time. Both hands to the floor, step back to plank. Put your right knee down on the floor in the middle of your mat and kickstand that right foot off to the side for stability. Take your right hand to the middle of the mat. Come onto the side of the left foot. Take your left hand to your waist. You're facing the left side of your room. Sweep that left arm up. Kneeling side plank. If you want to amp this up, lift the top leg off the floor. Your left leg, lift it up, get it long. Put it back down. Lift it back up. And put it down. And lift it back up. And put it down. Come off your left foot to a full side plank, both knees off the floor. You're here for about 10 seconds. Hips are high. Okay, back to a full plank, facing the floor. And meet me in a down dog. Or child's pose, whatever you prefer. Sit here for a few breaths. Now again, remember, anytime I say to go onto your knee,
Grab a towel or a pillow if it makes it more comfortable for you. We are gonna come back to a forward plank. You're gonna put the left knee down, kickstand that left foot. Same drill, opposite side. Facing the right side of your room. Pick that back leg up off the floor, get that leg nice and long, and put it back down. And just keep lifting and lowering it. One more time. Keep the right arm long. Step back, side plank. Both legs are straight. You can either stack your feet or stagger them. Doesn't really matter. It's a little harder to balance when they're stacked. You're here about 5 more seconds. Then we're going to meet back in a high plank. Okay, high plank right to a down dog or child's pose. 5 big, huge, deep breaths. This is your last time in a down dog today. Okay, bring your knees to the floor. Meet me in staff pose. Heels out to the corners of your mat. Bring your arms forward, your palms face each other. You're going to C-curve your spine. Suck in the belly. Start your descent. Make it great, nice and slow. From here, take it to a full body stretch with the arms going all the way back. Point your toes. Your hands are not touching the floor. I want you to spread your fingers far apart. And then make a fist. And then open. And squeeze. This is so good for our fingers. Open. They get stiff, you know, from holding weights. So this is a good exercise also from typing and whatever else we do that's not good for us. The list is long, we know. Okay, keep going. A few more. You're also feeling this in the back of your arms, right? Because you're keeping them off the floor. It's a little work for them. Okay, now pull the arms forward by your side. We're going to take the feet, let your toes connect, and then create a little bend in the knees so you can get your knees to connect. You know where we're going already. That very hard, but very good for us, muscle activation. Fingertips only, back of the arms off the floor. Push your heels down, pull them towards you, get your butt up off the floor while you squeeze your knees as hard as you can for 10 seconds. Put your butt down, relax, bring your knees to a bent leg. We're going to do some pelvic tilts very slowly. Push your low back to the floor and then reverse it. Roll the pelvis down or forward. While you hollow out the belly, you oscillate between these 2 points. Back down, back up. But you got to keep that activation in the stomach, which isn't always easy to do. This is a great abdominal exercise, but it brings flexibility and mobility to our lower body. We love that. Okay, we're going to come back to this stretch and muscle activation. So extend your legs all the way down along the floor, hip width apart, turn your toes to touch. Slide the heels towards you till you can get your knees touching. Now, this time, before we lift our butt up, I want you to press your heels down, pull them towards you, and just squeeze the knees for a little bit. So right now your butt's down, your arms are off the floor. Just have your fingertips making that little connection. You've got your legs as straight as you can get them. So you got to Can you slide your heels further out? And still squeeze your knees and have your toes touching? So now, as soon as we lift our hips up, you're gonna keep squeezing and you're gonna count to 10 slowly. Let's go. Don't forget to breathe. And release it. Bend your legs. Come back to those pelvic tilts. Oh my goodness, that feels good. Just do them in slow motion. Keep your belly pushing down. It's a good look for us, and it also protects your spine. That's why we nag you all the time about it. It's something that you need to do. Be mindful of throughout your day. Okay, hold the back pressing into the floor. Take your arms up off the floor. Roll, lift up one vertebrae at a time. So you're meeting me in a bridge. Your feet are hip width apart. I want you to walk your feet in close to your butt. Walk them in while you hold the bridge. Walk them in a little further if you can. Maybe you can bridge it up a little higher. Hold that and now squeeze your knees together. Harder. With all your might. We got to finish strong. This is really your last effort, and then we do 2 little stretches and you're done. So make this fabulous. Keep squeezing. Now open back up and squeeze again. And open up and squeeze again. One vertebrae at a time. While you hold the squeeze, I want you to lower back down to the floor. Keep the squeeze. And then release it. Back to those pelvic tilts. Roll the pelvis up, hollow out the belly, roll it forward. Very slowly. You can step your feet out so they're not so bent in the leg. Okay, so you've got your feet hip width apart and your legs bent. You're just going to let the knees fall to the right. You're not pushing them to the floor. Just let gravity do its thing here. Now I want you to take your left arm, lift it up off the floor. Have your palm face the right side of the room. Keep the arm nice and long and just take it back behind you. So the arm is just by your left ear. Now, once you get it there, those fingers are spread wide and you're trying to touch the back of your room. Do you feel that huge stretch over the waistband of your pants on the left side? I do. Feels so good. Keep hollowing out the belly. Bring the arm back, let it relax to the floor. Lift your left knee up solo by itself. And then bring the right knee along for the ride. Nice job. Pelvis rolls up so the low back is flat to the floor. Hold that. Keep the belly pressing down. And now let the knees go to the left. Just let them go wherever they want. Take this right arm, reach it up nice and long, all the way back so your arm is by your ear. Try to touch the back of the room. To feel a great stretch all through those ribs, right by your underarm. Take a few more breaths. This is so good for you. Okay, bring the arm back to the floor. Right knee lifts first, then the left, roll the back down onto the mat. Extend the legs out nice and long. Head lifts up off the floor. Roll yourself back up, come up onto your feet and push up onto your toes. Meet me in a full forward fold. And then from here, we're gonna do a nice reverse swan dive all the way back up. Flip your palms, reach for the ceiling. And I thank you very much for your power and strength. Good job.